Om Gyan-Timiram-Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam-Jena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya-Manokrishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dalati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri-Guru Shri-Yutaha Padakamalam Shri-Gurun Vaishnavam Shri-Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Anvitam Tam Sajiva Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Shri Vishakhanvitam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Saya Kutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prasarine Nirvishesha Sunyamati Acharya Devasari Pancha Kalpataru Dharasya Patitanam Pavunebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Sanya Prabhu Nityananda Kriya Dvaita Srivastadipo Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Very fortunate to be given this opportunity to speak something primarily for Brahmacharya life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, the principal duty of all varnas and ashram is to please Krishna. Atapumvi Dideshwarishya Varnashram Sanushtaya Dharmante Samsidhe Hari Krishna. Satisfy the Lord according to one's nature. Every one of us is born with different nature. According to the three modes of nature, one is acting helplessly. And these modes are ultimately controlled by Krishna. Devi, Isha, Maya. This Maya Shakti is controlled by Krishna. In order to make progress in spiritual life, one should choose the ashram and the varna as per one's nature. So, Brahmacharya life is meant for those who willingly want to renounce material enjoyment. It's meant for those who want to be austere, who want to remain in a detached way and take to the express highway back home back. If you want to go from here to Mumbai, there are two highways. One is express highway and the other is general highway. Both of them go to Mumbai, but the express highway is little faster. However, express highway you have to pay more toll, 270 rupees. General highway is only 70. So, in order to take to this Brahmacharya life means you have to pay the toll. The toll is like a tax. The tax one has to pay is to give up the material enjoyment, especially the enjoyment of sex life. We are bound in this material world primarily by the desire for sex enjoyment. beginning from Lord Brahma down to the end, everyone is a victim of sex desire. Even brahmachari, even sannyasi. Brahmachari sannyasi doesn't mean that he has no sex desire. It means that he is willing to tolerate it. Sometimes people think that, oh, I am brahmachari, so still I have got sex desire, and still am I not a hypocrite? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would say, the highest principle is to not think of sex. But at the same time, hypocrisy means that if you are trying to enjoy secretly and at the same time presenting oneself as a renounced person. The brahmacharya life means one who is trying to tolerate the urges of the senses. The second quality of brahmacharya is that he is very eager to serve. Service to Guru and Vaishnava. Brahmachari Guru Kule Danta Guru. Second quality of brahmachari is that he wants to serve the mission of Guru and Krishna. Menial service to the spiritual master. And then sometimes you may think that I am not even in touch with my spiritual master. My spiritual master is in America or in Russia, and I am here. How am I serving my spiritual master? If you are acting as per the order of the spiritual master in any part of the world, you are in the temple of ISKCON, where Srila Prabhupada is in the center, and his teachings are in the center, then you are serving your spiritual master. Because all the spiritual masters in our society are simply leading us to serve Prabhupada and to serve Krishna. With this in the center, there can be unity between different ashrams and within the ashram. Inter-ashram and intra-ashram in the mathematical language. Intra-ashram means within the ashram. Within the same ashram, the same temple, sometimes there's disagreement and fight. That's everywhere. It happens in household ashram. But in brahmachari ashram, we keep Guru as the center, Prabhupada in the center, then there can be unity. And then inter-ashram means between brahmachari and between grahas. There can be unity. Again, service to Krishna and service to Guru in the center. It's like when our temple in Mumbai, Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Chowpatty, was established in the late 1988-89. Earlier, there were a lot of fights between the devotees in brahmacharya life and grihastha life. The devotees in the brahmacharya life would condemn those in grihastha ashram, thinking that you are like a worm in the stool and you are in a deep, dark well. And the grihasthas would reply with that you are a parasite, you should go and find a 9-to-5 job. Maybe you did not get a job, so you are brahmacharya life. Later on, when His Holiness Adhanath Maharaj entered the scene, then he taught us the principle, sacred principle of honoring other devotees in other ashram also. Generally, those brahmacharis who criticize grihasthas too much, they end up becoming grihasthas. Because material nature is very powerful. When you criticize somebody, then you get reaction. But sometimes the reaction may be that one loses the desire for being in the renounced order. So, sacred principle which Prabhupada has taught us that amanina manade. This applies to all varnas and ashram. Amanina manade. That means every devotee in every ashram is thinking that other devotee is better than me. Actually, we don't belong to any ashram. In one sense, this concept of ashram is illusory. It's just in the material world for some time. It's like you're traveling in a train. There are, let's say, 100 devotees traveling from here to Hyderabad. finished from Hyderabad. So the Hyderabad Express leaving at 6:50. The practical point of view, there are 100 devotees and there are 5 bogies. So 20 bogies, 20 people have been put in one bogie. And then at the station, there's an announcement done that you are in S1, you are in S2. So in one sense, if a brahmachari traveling, he identifies himself, I am S2, you are S1. S2 is better than S1. S2 is greater than 1. X is greater than Y. So X into A is greater than Y into A. Have you all studied mathematics? How many of you studied engineering? I also did the same mistake. But then both of us came to the right path. So, identifying with the bogie number is illusory. But as long as we are in the journey, we have to say that, yes, I'm in S2. If you ask somebody, which bogie are you on? Well, I'm in any bogie. All bogies are going together. अब हमको प्रसाद सर्विंग करना है, you have to decide which bogie you are in. No, I am completely pure. So then you create chaos. So simply this classification of bogies is just temporary. Once you reach Hyderabad, and if you still go to the temple and say, I am S5, which is S5, the train? Where is the train? Train is gone. So, same way, if devotees identify with the ashram, is actually temporary. Lord Chaitanya did not identify with any ashram. He says, Naham Vipra, Nacha Narapati, Napi Vaishya Nashud. I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya or a Shudra. He said, I am Gopir Bhartur Pada Kamalayo, Das Dasami. I am servant of the servant. Actually, all of us have only one ashram, and that is servant of the. But still, in order for the society to function, these classifications are needed. Otherwise, there will be chaos. Very practical example, like here we have prasadam. Some people take 2 times and some take 3 times. I don't know whether there's some take 5 times also. That's the advantage in Pune temple is you feel hungry at 9 o'clock, then you can think you are 2 timers. If you don't feel hungry, then you can join 3 timers. If you feel very hungry, you can join 5 times. So this also is a practical example. Actually, there's nothing like 2 timers, 5 timers, 3 times. But only practice. For the kitchen point of view, classification is good. The kitchen staff doesn't get very excited. And then suddenly everybody will say, I'll take at 9 o'clock full prasad. They're not. Same way, this classification of Varna and ashram is just to make the journey back to Godhead smooth. It is not something which is very rigid. Person can change ashrams. Person can change Varnas also. Person is born in a Shudra family, but doing Brahmanical services, then he can be classified as a Brahmana. Born in a Shudra family, but he is good at fighting. His fighting spirit can be classified as Kshatriya. Similarly, for Brahmachari also, ideally Brahmachari means that I want to dedicate my whole life to Guru and Krishna. But if after a few years of practice, if one feels the need for changing ashram, it should not be thought of as a sin. It is not a sin or a breaking of regulative principles. But it's good if somebody can continue for lifelong, because it is much smoother, easier. Although apparently brahmacharya life looks difficult, but actually brahmacharya life is easier. Because like when I went to America in the year 1984, and I had gone for doing MS. I did my BTech in Banaras Hindu University. There's so many of you still do like that. After finishing, I was one of the so-called toppers who are bottom in consciousness. Top in grade, 9.8, 10.0, something illusory grade. So after that I applied. I went to, at that time this gate exam had just started. The gate of gate had opened. So I applied for that exam, and it was the first time the gate exam was held, and I got good marks. Every department has a different gate exam, right? Electronics has different, mechanical. So I got 13th rank in what they call AIR, not air, but All India, right? I got admission in MTech in any college. But then everybody said, you have appeared for GRE, let us wait for GRE. And GRE, I got good scores, I got scholarship in 5 colleges. So students, not devotees, but non-devotees, they advise me that GATE is good, MTech here, but going abroad is like, MTech in India is like Vaikuntha, but going to America is Goloka. Yes, that's one and even. Having gone there, will never come back. I got admission and I showed it to the devotees in Mumbai, Bhima Prabhu and Sridhar Maharaj. They said, no, don't go to America. Go there, you will simply eat cow's flesh and have illicit sex and drink wine, and very difficult in America to not do this thing. When I was studying in America, one of my professors used to have class in the evening, tutorial class. Morning class was common. The tutorial I would not go because they would drink beer. It's like you keep water glass. The professor's table, they have to beer. Light, like Occam water. But I would not go. Then one day he asked me, why you are not coming? He said, because we don't drink. If you don't drink wine, what are your principles? No meat eating, no illicit sex. You don't eat meat, you don't drink, then what do you do? So coming to America, America Isla, non-veg na khaila. Something like that. He didn't say this. He didn't know the bhajan. So after that, next day I brought some Gornitai Mahaprasad of sweet rice and sandesh and sabdi. And after eating that, he said, yes, now I understand. When I told him, we also go for dancing parties, but we dance at 4:30 in the morning. So after I came back from America, I finished my studies, and I had a choice. I could continue in America or preaching, but His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj suggested that for your nature, it is better to go to India, better to preach in India. So I came back, and when I came to Bhima Prabhu was at that time brahmachari when I left. When I came back, he was in Grahastha, very senior devotee. The Grahastha also is doing equally good service like Sanyas. But he asked me, oh, you went to America and still came single? Right, like going through fast bowling and remaining not out. Then he told me that, see, now your mind, the brahmachari, the mind will sometimes give trouble. There are maybe 10% or 5% brahmachari be there whose mind does not bother them for a material exam. 95% brahmacharis will have desire for enjoyment, but they tolerate. So he said, see, now your mind is giving problems. But if you get married, then you have one more mind. And then after some time, little minds will come up. Like that. So then he encouraged me. He's still my Sridhar Maharaj, who they would not, when I showed them the letter for admission for going, they said only way you can go is if you get to stay in the temple. I showed the college list, and one college in Houston called Rice University was, they said, yeah, this is good because temple is very close to college. So Sridhar Maharaj immediately called up that temple and said, one student is coming, please allow him to stay. And lodging and boarding free in America. Nothing like it, And then for the phone call, the bill was 200 rupees. That he collected from me. That he was chairman of fundraising. So when you are fundraising, every fund met. Actually, he saved my life. Otherwise, I would have stayed in the student hostel in America. Hostels, because hostels are also co-educational hostels. And if there is men and women staying in the neighborhood. So he actually saved my life by allowing me to stay there. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was the GVC for Houston. So anyway, the point I wanted to say was that brahmacharya life is actually very simple. Just like my dear friend Tarun Mohan from work, he was also in US. Actually, he can give better lecture about US than me. He was there for 5 years, 5 years, 3 years. We were actually working. And I did America. I was just in the temple, and I would go to college and come back within 3 hours. But Prabhuji was in the material world. Still, he remained strong. So, so just simple. Just have to chant 16 rounds and do hearing chanting and whatever service I can do. Then you can remain brahmacharya. Don't even think of anything. Generally, problems come because of desire for post, desire for position, desire for recognition. And also sometimes problem comes because one feels that there is politics, there is this person, that groupism. As long as you are in the material world, this may be truth. But still, if you are transcendental, if you are sincere, you will not get disturbed. Like when you're traveling in a train, sometimes the train, there will be disturbance, some beggars are coming, sometimes there are sounds, sometimes you're traveling in train, this is Rajdhani says, there are many people who are eating non-veg. You know? So still, if you want to travel, you tolerate it. Like if there's Pankaj Angri Prabhu who is not with us anymore. He was once asked this question, how you could be in the same temple for 40 years, same department, DT department. He gave two answers. The first answer is, I am the head pujari, so I have the key to all the prasadam rooms. I can take any prasadam whenever I want. Second thing he said is because that this temple life is like being in a boat. You're traveling in a boat from here to America, like Prabhupada went in Jaladuta, for 30 days, 38 days. And suddenly when you cross about 2-3 days, then you realize people in the boat, some are not very good. Some people noses are crooked. Some people's teeth doesn't look nice. Some are eating non-veg. Now you have the two choice because you are in the ocean. Either you can just jump out of the ocean and like go back to God. Other option is just tolerate. Eventually you will reach the shore. In ashram life also there are different devotees, different natures. Many of the devotees may have natures which are not like your nature. Even in brahmacharya life, there is variety of tendencies. People have different aptitudes. Some like spicy, some like non-spicy. Some take both of the prasad. Some take 2 times, 3 times. And if there is opportunity, they become pure devotees of Rajbhog. Different nature. Some like to go out and preach. Some like to stay back and do backup service. Like a Manmohan Shyam Prabhu. Nobody even knows where he's doing service, but in humbly serving, just always in the background. Some have to be in the foreground also, because of the preaching mission. This kind of differences will be there. But these difficulties are much less compared to the difficulties in the Grihastha ashram. Like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj would say that it's like difficulties in brahmacharya life are like mustard seed compared to the problems in family life, which is like a mountain. Small mustard seed. Some problem. We have common bathrooms and you have to wait in the line. So anyway, how many times you have to go in the bathroom? We are not planning for permanent residency there. It's a slight problem. You don't have separate bank account. You will like a particular sound system for hearing. But authorities may not allow you. Not a very big deal. Not like, as long as one has the opportunity for hearing and chanting, associating with devotees, that is the life of a brahmachari. The life is a holy name. Ultimately, you can only remain brahmachari if you have developed taste for the holy name. Otherwise, theoretically, we may make some advancement. You may get some position. You become leader of brahmacharis also. But if you yourself are not relishing the holy name and the transcendental vibration of Krishna Katha, it's very difficult to continue for lifetime. So, one has to make a conscious effort. Of course, this applies to all ashrams, not that only brahmachari should strive for taste. But brahmachari has to have taste, because you are giving up the most important enjoyment in this real world. That's why Krishna becomes so pleased with those who even try to follow their nose story. Krishna becomes very pleased, because very few people in this material world actually try to be brahmachari. And do not think that if somebody tries and is not successful, then it's an offense or anything. It's just like in a battle, if somebody tries to fight, he will lose. If you do not try, then you're already the loser. Some people, they be brahmachari for some time, then they change. But because they've been in the ashram for 5 years or 10 years, they have that training and that understanding, then they can continue next. But if you develop taste for hearing chanting, then there is no need for changing. The need arises only when there is lack of taste. Because everybody wants some sweet. Anandamayo Gisa. Everyone is looking for pleasure. Ultimate pleasure is Rama. Rama means Brahmante Yogino Anand. The yogis take pleasure. Krishna is all attractive. The ultimate way to remain brahmachari is to develop attraction for the all attractive. That means you develop attraction for the sweet sound of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. How to develop that taste? That taste, many important points are told by Srila Prabhupada and their disciples. But one of the most important things in developing taste is to just be persevering. Now what is understood? Persevering. Perseverance means even if you are not having taste, just go on. Lower. Just like the child starts walking. In the beginning, he may not know how to walk. He tries to walk, fumbles down to the ground. Again he gets. Then if we don't have taste, we have to go on chanting. Like Prabhupada said, how do you become a drunkard? How do you become drunkard? Anybody would like to share the realization? Jnana and Vijnana. Please don't raise your hand because we may not be able to do PDC. If you are detected, it's like becoming corona positive. So the way Prabhupada explains is that drink, and you become drunkard. So chant, and you become good chanter. Somehow, you have to go on chanting. Because of the anarthas, the sweet holy name does not sound very sweet to us. It looks like sweet rice mixed with sand. Sweet rice is sweet, but because of material desires, And because of the anarthas, we are not able to relish that sweet Holi. However, if we go on chanting, then we will develop that taste. What is the first one? To chant with perseverance and faith. The faith should be there. That Nama Nami Abhinna. Nama Nami. What does this mean? Nama Nami Abhinna. Yes, Chaitanya Chandra. There's no difference between the holy name of Krishna and Krishna. All of the opulences and all of the mercy and all of the avatars of the Lord contained in the sound of the holy. How attentive you would be. It's like today you are listening so attentively. Although I'm unqualified beggar, but because of my age and because of my number of years, they are respecting me and listening attentively, hopefully. The same way, how much we should be respectful to Krishna who is appearing in the transcendental sound of the Guru. As soon as they say Hare Krishna, Radharani and Vrindavan Chandra, they come dancing on your tongue. So that realization, even though you may not have that realization, but we have faith in the spiritual master, in the words of Srila Prabhupada, that when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna is appearing. The very beautiful prayer which our great predecessor Acharya Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given us this prayer. What is that prayer? It says, Kripa Kori Nama Rupe More Jivaya Nirantara Nach Prabhu Hari Tava Paya. What does this mean? Kripa Kori Nama Rupe More Jivaya. Means, oh my Lord, please be merciful to me. And in the form of the holy name, please dance. Please dance on my tongue. Kripa Kori Nama Rupe More Jivaya. Nirantara Nach. Please dance on my tongue. Also, Krishna's appearing on our tongue is largely dependent on our attitude towards the holy name, on our attitude towards the Vaishnavas, towards Guru, and towards Krishna. Because just like if I just call, oh Narendra Modi, please come wherever you are, I will count 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, will not come. So Narendra Modi is not like, तुम्हारे बाप का नौकर नहीं है. Prabhupada sometimes would speak in English like that. Krishna is not your father's servant. In Hindi, just by chanting Hare Krishna, if you do not have the proper attitude, then Krishna will not. In chanting, more than the pronunciation, the attitude is more important. Of course, the pronunciation is also important. Pronunciation is also important. In the beginning stage, at least you should pronounce properly. But in a higher stage, along with the pronunciation, you start hearing also. And third stage, after pronouncing properly, hearing properly, we develop a prayerful attitude. The attitude is what makes the difference between a neophyte and an advanced chanter, between a Paramhansa and a Kanishta Bhakta. Kanishta Bhakta's attitude is, he is respect for the Supreme Lord, but no respect for other Vaishnavas. And he is affected by material desire. Whereas advanced devotee means he sees Krishna in every living being. He offers respect to everyone. Even if somebody is an ant, he sees Krishna in. So if we want that we should get taste for the holy name, we have to gradually mold our attitude. The entire process of sadhana bhakti, the transformation of attitude. From the attitude of Ravana, Ravan's attitude was, Sita is my property. I am the enjoyer. And Hanuman's mentality is, Sita is the property of Ram, and I am servant of Sita and Ram. The brahmachari, the most advanced, the teacher of all PDCs is Hanuman Prabhu. Lord Hanuman, he is the best brahmachari in the creation. And we see what his mood is. He is willing to do anything for serving Krishna. He's told suddenly, you go and get Sanjeevani booty from, let's say, Lonavala. 50 kilometers away. He went all the way and he could not find it. The GPS was not working. Finally, he brought the entire mountain. That is ideal brahmachari. Whatever service is asked to do, we should not try to analyze. We get too much in the analysis that leads to paralysis. The analysis of this service was given to me. Why not that service? It seems like I am not getting favored. That other devotee is getting more favor. These are very small things, but these small things sometimes trouble them. Whereas a devotee is chanting Hare Krishna, thinking Krishna is appearing. The seva is also an incarnation of Krishna. Any service you get, when you go and see Radha Vrindavan Chandra, like today they are wearing blue clothes. You don't question why you are wearing blue clothes, why not green clothes. Whatever way Radharani and Vrindavan Chandra appear, you want to serve them. In the same way, a devotee accepts every service sent by Krishna as a greatest of blessing. Krishna is so kind. Krishna Bodhadaya is so kind. Krishna has come. This service, I have got this service of giving a lecture that is sent by Krishna. My service is to prepare garlands for Krishna. That is sent by Krishna. My service is to cook for Krishna. Or if you don't have any service, my service is to respectfully honor Prasad to my full satisfaction. Full satisfaction means as much as hunger. The attitude is very important. Before we begin our chanting, we should pray to the spiritual master to give us that proper attitude. What is that attitude? Nanaadapi punichena, tarorapi saishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sada. Attitude is that I am lower than a blade of grass. Become more tolerant than a tree. And give all respects to others and expect none in return. Always be in that mood that I am lower than others. Everyone is my Prabhu and I am simply a servant. Sometimes we feel happy to offer respects to seniors. Sometimes you do because if you don't, then sannyasi, if you don't offer, then we have to fast. Out of fear of fasting, we offer respects very fast. But ideally, we should be offering respect to everyone because everyone is an expansion of Krishna. Every living being is an eternal associate of Krishna. So if you have this attitude, then Krishna's holy name will be sweeter. Taste to holy name is directly proportional to humility. Something like P proportional to H. Our taste is inversely proportional to pride. We should anchor for that humility. It's not easy. I may be speaking very lofty words today that we should become humble and tolerant, but I know for myself, I'm far away from that platform. All of you are probably more closer to that platform, Aman in Aman. But this is easier in brahmachari life to become humble. Because brahmachari means menial service. That is why this training period of, I think, 2 years or 3 years, 2 years is there, just to incite or ignite the feelings of humility. When you're told to do any service, any time, that is a test of humility. And tolerance becomes natural in brahmacharya life because facilities are limited. If there are two devotees who are fighting for the same facility, only one facility, just like I also want a car, and other devotee also wants a car. Both are going for preaching. Both are going to distribute Lord Chaitanya's mercy. But both are going in different destinations. It's difficult to make two parts of the car. If you divide the car into two parts, it becomes a car. So, one who is very insistent and dominating, that I want it, he may take it. But the other who bows down, he will get mercy. The one who takes the car, he will get some mercy, but he will get the car facility. But the other who is willing to give the facility to others. Because every Vaikuntha, Prabhupada says Vaikuntha means every devotee is thinking that other service is more important than my service. Everybody is my Prabhu. This becomes difficult Then he becomes senior. It's like a person like me, because I'm somewhat senior, it becomes difficult. Them devotees in Pune especially give me great honor, because Adesham Prabhu is himself an example of perfect humility. And by seeing his attitude towards me, everybody is very respectful. It's good for the person offering respect. But if you think that the respect is for you, then you will fall down. It's like we are told, the Granthas are told that we must serve brahmacharis very nicely. The brahmachari is told, don't take too much. So if he takes too much, Granthas will be happy, but he will lose his brahmachari. They may honor also. If somebody gives you more respect, it's good for the person who gives honor, but it's not good for me. So we have one more brahmachari, sannyasi is Madhavendra Puri. He is ideal for all, not only for PDCs, but for senior, even for sannyasis. He was such a perfect example of humility that when the Lord stole sweet rice for him, he was feeling embarrassed. So something like this happens to me, that some Radha Vrindavan Chandra tells Rupa Goswami Prabhu that I have kept one peda for Krishna behind the curtain. Immediately I will take that peda and put in a WhatsApp group photo with Rupa Goswami Prabhu. Just see, Vrindavan Chandra is peda chore, for me. We want glorification. So what was Madhavendra Puri's attitude? He said, oh, I am offender. If I stay here, people will honor me. People will honor me. That means I will become proud. And become proud means my bhakti will go down. Better I leave this place. Although he was staying in a temple, we left that place. That is how much we should be. A devotee like Madhavendra Puri, with Paramahamsa level, he is afraid of pride. But the brahmachari, the greatest danger is pride. Not because already you have given up association of women and money. The only thing is more difficult to give up is desire for prestige, honor. Especially some of you may be in preaching field, or later on come in preaching field. There is some honor. But if you think even iota of honor is for yourself, then you will lose the mercy. Whenever there is some success, all success credit you give to Krishna and to Guru and to all the devotees. Something goes wrong, then you accept this for me. Like last Sunday, Saturday was 14th of May, and we were in Govardhan Eco Village with Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Many scholars, devotees had come, not outside ISKCON also, Brajavasi. And one of them, Shivaswami Goswami, was praising Radhanath Maharaj. So he connected the topic to glorification of Maharaj. He's been speaking in such a way, I hope you can hear the recording, 14th May recording. Just like Gauranga Prabhu and Radhanath Maharaj, they said that we were dumbfounded. We were like speechless. Such sincere glorification. But immediately Maharaj replied that as far as my glorification, whatever Swami said, if there's anything good in it, if it is true, it's all for my Guru Maharaj, and other things, they are for me, if there is anything. That's how brahmachari should be. The submission to Guru means not only giving wealth. If you get money, you give to Guru. If you get prestige, that also you give to Guru. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram. Whatever problems you see in the world are because of dhanam, janam, sundaram. Like in Pune, there is court. We have court here, high court. Court is district court. So why do people go to the court? Not to embrace each other. Generally, very few people are fighting that, he is a better devotee, he is chanting more rounds. There's no fight because of that. Fight is because of property. Women's property, prestige. Dhanam, janam, no problem. Na dhanam, na janam, no problem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given the ideals for brahmachari life. Na dhanam, na janam. And no desire for prestige also. Because prestige, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, Pratishtha e Shukadera Vishta. The desire to be honored and respected is like the stool of an animal. Hare Krishna. We just had nice prasad, so very bad to think about. So brahmachari means, if some prestige comes, I will offer it to Krishna and Guru. Some bad thing happens, I am responsible. When Krishna himself, when he was with Sudama in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. Sandipani Muni ordered them, go and cut wood. And Krishna could have said, how much wood do you want? I'll bring it right now. He could have put it in Amazon or Flipkart, 10 kgs of wood, transport to this address. He's Krishna, he doesn't need Amazon also. But Krishna went and did menial service, cutting the wood in the middle of the night. So that principle of serving Guru, that removes pride. Why we are given service? It's not only because there is need. Sometimes there is no need, but just to give opportunity for us to become humble. Humility is very important quality for the future. And even if you don't have humility, the training process is such that will make us humble. So coming back to the point about the holiness, if you have this attitude of amanina mana dena, trinadapi nichena, sarorapi sarishta, then automatically kirtani is start. Like Prabhupada was asked this question, one devotee wrote, Prabhupada, I am a brahmachari and I am experiencing a great agitation because of sex desire. So what was Prabhupada's reply? Would anyone of you like to try? How would you answer this question if some of your junior devotee asked you how to overcome this material desire? Yes? Huh?
Have been very nice. So this is more like in the dose.
This was actually Prabhupada's answer, literally. Just like if you are taking medicine, where the temperature is, you are taking 102 degrees temperature, but if the temperature is not reducing, then increase the dose. In homeopathy, you have this sweet medicine. I like homeopathy because the medicine is very sweet. No injections, no tubes, just sweet. So if the disease is not reducing, the doctor will increase the dose. In spite of chanting 16 rounds, still agitation is there. That is chant 20 rounds, 25 rounds. We should not reduce the service of the temple, but along with the service, you can do little extra here. That will give spiritual strength. Our strength comes primarily from chanting Hare Krishna. And to the degree we are absorbed in the holiness, that effect is there. It's like, many of the medicines you take, you take empty stomach. Right? You go to Ayurvedic doctor, you say, take this powder before the meal. Why do they say? Because before meal, the stomach is empty, the absorption is better. After you have taken 4 idlis and 2 uttapa and 1 dosa, then you take the medicine will get mixed up in the dosa and the effect will not be there. So that is the difference between japa, which is concentrated, but japa is mixed with practical service. Sometimes our thought may not be bad. Like during chanting, I'm thinking today that I have to give lecture in the evening. What should I speak? Hare Krishna. Then my ticket has to book Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Waiting list 22, Hare go. It is not as bad as compared to thinking of sex life, but still there is disturbance. So what I do in that case, I just put aside my bead bag and write a paper and tell the mind, Jo bolna hai bolo, bako, bako. Nonsense you want to speak, just tell, I will write down. Then you keep shut. Somehow the mind has to keep shut. So coming back to this point that somehow or other, even if you don't have humility, by chanting you will get humility. One devotee asked Prabhupada how to become tolerant and humble. Prabhupada replied, there is no need for extra endeavor. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, all good qualities will develop automatically. In the 17th chapter of Adi Leela, Lord Chaitanya took a seminar on holiness. Anybody knows where he took that class on holiness? Not in NVCC. Was in the house of Shuklama Brahmacharya in Mayapur. There Lord Chaitanya told this very famous book that just by chanting the holy name, all good qualities will come. This course which you are all taking, State PDC course, it is a course which will eventually lead to perfection. We may not have humility, but just by chanting, we develop humility. We feel very intolerant, still we tolerate. So by doing that, then gradually we will get that taste. And one more point which I wanted to add is faith in the holy name. We like to tell this one nice story by Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. Many of you may have heard from me before, from other devotees. Once one Sadhu Maharaj was speaking about holy name. A very great soul. He was speaking in Bengali. He was saying, Anande bolo Hari Hari. Hari Koribe Bhav Ari. Translation is that with great ananda, with great pleasure, chant Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Hari 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 Hari. Hari Hari Hari. That is enough. I think now everybody has got up. Because our brahmachari class goes through 3 different phases. In the beginning there is alertness, then it becomes more alert, then it becomes little down. That's 3:45. So Hari Hari. Hari. One of the names of Hari means it steals away everything, including sleep also. They are saying Anande bolo Hari Hari. Hari Koribe Bhav Ari. Lord Hari will help you cross over the ocean of birth and death. After hearing this, everybody went back to their homes, and there were 2 ladies. One was mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. How many of you have heard this story? Told many times. Both mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they were going back to their homes. And they had to cross the river. Initially, when they came, the water was very low. But now, suddenly a dam was released, and like it happened like Krishna river or Ganga river, big rivers, you release the dam, someplace, flood started. The water was very high, 20 feet high. Now how to cross? There were no boats. There is no swimming. Mother-in-law was very learned, intelligent, but not so faithful. Daughter-in-law was simple, not very learned, but very faithful. Mother had head knowledge. Daughter-in-law had heart knowledge. In Bhakti, there are 2 aspects. One is head knowledge. In studying the Shastras, in memorizing the verses. That is also needed. But there is heart knowledge, realization of the statements of the Shastra. Realization of the glories of the Lord. Feelings of humility and tolerance. That is heart knowledge. So both are needed, but heart knowledge is more important. The mother-in-law had head knowledge. The daughter-in-law, she had faith. Faith is the substance of religion. So she went near the water. She remembered, oh, Maharaj told in the lecture that Anande Bolo Hari Hari, chant the name of Hari, and you'll cross over the ocean. It is just a small river. What to speak of the ocean? Immediately she chanted Hari 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 Hari. As she was chanting Hari Hari, the river just gave way, divided into 2 parts. And then the mother-in-law, she was afraid. Oh, how will I cross? Then the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, everybody knows very sweet pastimes take place. Brahmacharis learn just by hearing. So this mother-in-law, she was in anxiety. How will I cross? Daughter-in-law said, did you not hear that Maharaj spoke from NVCC temple that just by chanting Hari you can cross over? The mother-in-law was very angry. Said, yes, I have heard. I am not deaf. But what is the guarantee that it will work? Suppose I put my feet in the water and chant Hari Hari. Suppose I say Hari Hari and the water does not give way, then I will murray. So both the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, they were hearing the same lecture given by the same person. But what was the difference? Faith. Shraddha Shabda Vishwas Kahe, Sudrida Nishchay, Krishna Bhakti Kahe, Sarva Karma. Shraddha means to have that faith that just by rendering service to Krishna, Shraddha Shabda Vishwas, Sudrida Nishcha, that determination. Krishna Bhakti Kaile, the rendering service to Krishna, Sarva Karma Krit. Everything becomes auspicious. So we should have that kind of faith. That although I may not have taste, although I may not be very advanced, but just by chanting Hare Krishna, all good qualities will develop automatically. Prabhupada writes, Yasyasya Bhakti Bhagavati Akincha. The one who has got bhakti to the Lord, Sarve Gune Samasata Suraha. All the good qualities of the demigods will. So, coming back to the previous point, we have just few minutes left and conclude that this particular ashram which we have chosen is a fast track back home, back to college. It is very auspicious and it's very much needed in society also. Another thing good about this ashram is that it is a need of the society. If one can dedicate his life to preaching Krishna consciousness, then you can do the highest service to mankind. The highest service is to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ritvaite Acharya Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Vaiveva. Lord Chaitanya says that in every town and village, my holy name will be sung. So we should. That is the main reason why one should take to the brahmacharya life. Not because prasad is easily available, or sometimes people think that just I will take to brahmacharya life so that I don't have to work. This may be a side benefit, but that is not the main reason. The main reason should be to dedicate oneself to propagating the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had many brahmacharis in his mission, and he had many grihasthas also. Like Haridas Thakur was brahmachari, Shuklamba brahmachari was brahmachari, Narasimhananda brahmachari was brahmachari. And then there were grihastha devotees like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, like Ramanand Rai, like Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur. Interesting that Srivas Thakur in Krishna Lila is Narad Muni, he is a sannyas, and he is completely coming and lovingly, forcingly making brahmachari. Narad Muni, he goes to the Prachetas, the story, the son of the Daksha, it has a Daksha's son that they have just gone for doing engineering college, 10,000 of them. And suddenly they meet some great soul like Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu, who preaches to them. The representative of Narad Muni. Why are you wasting your life? Just chant Hare Krishna, join the temple. Immediately all 10,000 joined. At that time, PDC was only 1 day course. No. Immediately saffron. So the next batch, but Daksha was very upset. All 10,000 children, they went, and all of them did not come back. What is this Narad Muni Gadbad kar rahe? No problem. I am Daksha, I am expert. So he had another 1,000. Nowadays, people have 1 children, 2 children. He was 1,000, 2,000. Another 1,000. They also went to the same. Which college was it? Srinagar College or VIT or Banaras in the university. And Narad Muni came there again. After they graduated, after their convocation, he came and said, Hari Bol, you know what happened to your brothers? Go and see, he's in Pune temple. Another batch also joined. And Narad Muni actually was so upset. Just called Narad Muni. Left and right, firing. You rascal, you don't know anything. I also understand that one must develop renunciation. But first one must enjoy. How can you teach them premature renunciation? Like that. You are a hypocrite. I am a real sadhu. I am in the Grihastha ashram. Narad Muni was just pin drop silence. That is real greatness of Narad Muni. That he was renounced in speech. He could have told to Daksha, you rascal, I don't care for what you do. You are in deep dark well. But Narad Muni waited for Daksha's anger to go down, that Daksha would also get well. So this mother-in-law, daughter-in-law story. The daughter-in-law, she had faith in the holy name. The mother-in-law had some knowledge of holy name, but not faith. We should try to associate with those who have got Nam Nishta, the faith in the holy service to Vaishnava. While we should be respectful to all brahmacharis and to grahasthas, we should try to associate with more and more that will inspire us on the path of Krishna consciousness. So it seems like we are giving up everything. But actually, what are we giving up? Like if you are carrying a bag, it has got broken piece of glass, some marble, some stone, and you give up that, instead you get a new bag which is filled with jewels and nice fresh hot prasad, 2-timer prasad or 3-timer. What is the use of broken piece of glass? So like when I went to America, after I came back, I was asked to go to Kurukshetra, not for fighting, but for helping Shukdev Maharaj. Actually, fights are always there. When I was there also, we were just 6 people in that temple. On the altar, there were 4 people, Gaur Nitai, Radha Krishna. And below there was Shukdev Maharaj and myself. Everybody would get chance. One day Shukdev Maharaj would do Aarti and I would say. Next day I would do Aarti and he would say. So we were very nice to each other, but still there was some quarrel. Don't think brahmacharya there not be quarrel, but should rectify it immediately. Even grahastha life there is quarrel. Wherever 2, Prabhupada says like this is one vessel, and if you have another vessel and 2 vessels come together, there is sound. So whenever 2 devotees come together, even if PDC members are there, some clash will be there. But you should tolerate. And much easier to tolerate other brahmacharis than to tolerate the people in the other ashrams. Much easier. Because here, suppose I do not like Tarun Mohan Prabhu. I like him, but suppose I don't like Tarun Mohan Prabhu. I go to Hyderabad, then Achyut Prabhu is there. I like him. If I don't like Achyut Prabhu, then I have Sar Shiromani Prabhu, the essence of all. Shiromani of today leading such nice Mangal Aarti. You are leading Aarti today. Mangal Aarti. So I can go to him. But in married life, it's not like that. Ek baar ho gaya to ho gaya. You cannot keep on switching. The brahmacharya is much easier actually. Only there is a fear that, oh, will I be able to maintain? Will it be like not depressing? Krishna arranges it. Even if sometimes people think that, oh, when I become old, then who will maintain me? Like now, this year I will become 60. I don't even realize. I remember I joined when I was 25. And I just kept on chanting and hearing, and now I realize I'm 60 only. You don't have to worry. Just one day. Today I have to do service. Tomorrow, kal ka kal dekhai. And the wheel will keep moving. You don't have to push the clock forward. And every time will come for this. You don't have to worry. If you're in grahastha ashram, you have to worry. Oh, my children, they are going to school. A, B, C, D again. And whenever the children have exam, the parents also have to appear for that exam. They have to teach. And then afterwards, sometimes don't think that all children are like Prahlad. Some people think that I will take to married life and I will have nice children and they will join brahmacharya ashram. Sometimes father is Hiranyakashipu, child is Prahlad. Sometimes father is Prahlad, child becomes Hiranyakashipu. Once I went to some home and one child, he was 5 years old, he was reciting Bhagavad Gita was memorized. So I told his father, what fortune you have, you have a great son. He's just like Prahlad. The father became angry, he said, what do you mean? Who am I? I said, I do not mean that you are Hiranyakashipu. All combinations, like Father Hiranyakashipu, son Prahlad, Father Prahlad, son Hiranyakashipu, Father Prahlad, son Prahlad, Father Hiranyakashipu, A, B bar, A bar, B. All Boolean algebra, all complexes. Because actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also wanted to have children. He said, if I can make children and devotees, I am willing to produce 1,000 children. But because it is so difficult, he said, better to give Ramachandra. There are other volunteers to do that service. Let them do that service nicely in that file, and then devotee like Tarun Mohan, they go to the college and help them join the ashram. So that's our mission, There will always be two parties. And always we should respect each other. It's not that those who are grihasthas, they are wrong. They are right in their own way. And those who are brahmacharis, they are also right. And just like in medical science also, there are some Ayurvedic doctors and allopathic doctors. Not that allopathic doctors are wrong. Ayurveda is Ayurveda. Same way, different ways of thinking may be there in different ashrams. But our goal is to please Krishna. And we should think that this is a shortcut. Sometimes you are given the choice that you can go by this road, you will reach in 20 minutes. But just straight road. No markets, no malls, no malls. Just straight. Other road is little nicer. You can stop at fruit juice and fruits and then market and shopping malls, and you will reach after 2-3 days. So, the brahmachari life is for those who want to make fast spiritual progress. But warn you, if the tire is not good, then the car may blast. It happens in express highway. Sometimes the car blasts. So if our sadhana is not good, then somewhere the blasting will be there. Then somebody will come in and take you to the other highway. All this I did not plan what I will speak. It's just coming in. The Paramatma is inspiring you to speak according to your nature. But we should not, somebody's tire blast, we should not criticize it. We should help him. Either he can repair that tire or he can still continue on. Sometimes devotees have problems, they think, oh, I have material desire, so I should get married. Not necessary. Everybody has a desire for sex life. More than 95%. But brahmachari life is tolerating it. And grihastha life is also marrying, and then there also there is tolerating. In grihastha life also you cannot have unlimited enjoyment. Once Haigriva Prabhu, very sincere disciple of Srila Prabhupada, you have heard about Haigriva Prabhu. He is the one who helped Prabhupada translate Bhagavad Gita at the time. So he told Prabhupada, please tell me what are the rules for married life. And Prabhupada told the rules how you can only associate once in a month, and there also when you have children. Once you have children, then if you want more children, then you should have more enjoyment. And then he told the rules in great detail. And Haigriva Prabhu said, wow, Prabhupada, so many rules and regulations. My God, better to forget it altogether. Prabhupada smiled and said, you have rightly understood the point. The best is like somebody diabetes and doctor says, don't take sweets. No sweets? There is Gajar Halwa Raj Bhog. After Krishna Bhog, it's my Bhog. I get that Raj Bhog and some sweet rice in the morning. No, not allowed. Doctor Sahab, I'm staying in the temple. How can I live without sweets? Lord, holy name is sweet, but kheer is also sweet. Doctor said, all right, once in 15 days, you can take 1 spoon of sweet rice. He's waiting. One Sunday he takes, next Sunday he watches, he's not allowed. And after 15 days, 1 spoon, and then again he's waiting. Kabe habe bolo. Finally he tells the doctor, waiting for 15 days for 1 spoon, better I will give it up. Doctor said, that was my original point. The best is if you can give up material enjoyment, that is brahmacharya. Otherwise, grihastha life also. Grihastha life means timed or not and then untimed. There are different people, there's a deep dark well. Grahmedi life is just jump in the well without any rope. Did I go? Just jump so hard, break your head and start bleeding and forget about Krishna. That is Grahmedi life. Grihastha life is you catch a rope and go down. Kitna niche hai? So maja karne and then pull out after food. And brahmacharya life is you just learn that this is the well, Baba. If you go in the well, you will not be well. You control yourself. And there is not much. Some people will look at the well outside, looks very attractive. But you look at Krishna, is more attractive. So strict sadhana is very important for maintaining brahmacharya and especially developing taste for the Lord. As I said, that taste does not come automatically. You have to make an effort. And I will end with one nice point where Maharaj will explain it. That the holy name taste, one should beg for that mercy, plead for that mercy, yearn for that mercy, and cry for that mercy. That mercy does not come automatically. It's not that you just put your hand in the bead bag and the holy name will appear. You have to pray to Guru and Krishna. Please help me chant better. Help me take shelter of the holy. Help me. Like all our leaders in ISKCON, Prabhupada's disciples, they're always hankering to chant more and more. And once you pray to Naam Prabhu, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, pray to the holy name himself. Just like there's Krishna and Gauranga and Jagannath, there is Naam Prabhu. Like many of the Babajis, they would have, on the stones, they would write the Hare Krishna mantra. And they would do Abhishek of the Mahamantra. Many devotees, including myself, sometimes I keep in my room one plaque, one lamination of Hare Krishna mantra. Look at the mantra. You should be very careful not to miss out syllables. Sometimes when I first, actually it's for, I've been chanting for more than 40 years. But just 5-10 years back, the devotee told me your pronunciation is missing. So I felt very bad. He said, no, Prabhu, I'm sorry, but you record it. I was recording and I was finding that there are different mantras coming on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Then after some time, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare. So you have to chant with attention. Some devotee asked Maharaj, what is more important? Chanting clearly or hearing attentively or praying? The Maharaj said, chant with your lips, hear with your ear, and pray from the heart. All three are important. So you have to somehow or other develop that mood of crying for Krishna. Like Govind Maharaj would say, unless you cry for Krishna, Baba, you will very lovingly chastise. If you cry for Krishna, you will get Krishna. Dhruva cried, Prahlad cried, the gopis cried. Whoever is crying for Krishna, they get Krishna. And I'll conclude with one short story which I told just a few days back. Some of you may have heard. Prabhupada sharing the story that he should attain Krishna consciousness. The price is, what is the price? Laulyam, intense greed, intense hankering for the holy. And Prabhupada tells the story of the thief. How many of you heard the story of the thief? The thief is coming to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. No? A very sincere devotee like Tara Shiromani Prabhu is giving class in Abbott's temple. And the thief comes and Prabhu is describing the beauty of Krishna. Krishna is having nice jewels and is wearing earrings. And others are listening, but others are just waiting for the lecture to get over. You know, some are there because attendance. But this thief is listening very attentively. And after the lecture, everybody leaves. Some leave before, but everybody leaves immediately after the lecture. And then this thief approaches and says, who is this boy? This beautiful boy. What is his name? His name is Krishna Govinda. You know, Krishna Govinda. Krishna Govinda. Where does he stay? Vrindavan. How to go there? Let's go this way. Goa Express. Jhenam Express. Immediately that thief he runs towards Vrindavan. And reaches Vrindavan. He sees everybody and this is that boy. Does he have earrings? Is he wearing peacock feather? Then he finally spots Krishna. And he sees Krishna and says, oh Krishna. He touches it. I want this earring, this necklace. No, Maya, Yashoda will be angry. He touches Krishna and it's transformed. The Prabhupada concludes by saying, it does not matter whether you're a thief or a murderer. Just develop greed for Krishna. So that is ultimately human chastity. You cannot give up material sex life until you develop taste for Krishna. And that taste for Krishna comes by associating with devotees. Those who have got that laulyam for Krishna Katha, for holy name, associate with those devotees. And in their association, Tandera Charana say, Bhakta Tanevar, Janame say, in their association, they associate with them, their association with Yer Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhagavad Gita. And sincerely, like a child crying for mother, we cry out for the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek your blessings, blessed Guru Maharaj, to continue on. Any questions or comments? First comments if any of the senior devotees would like to speak something. Any questions? Yes, yes, and
Great. Thank you very much for your contribution. Just like you were telling about life, the path is easy. Like doing the example of like seeds, different shapes like that. So less difficult is available with a lot of difficulties like mountain. So it's like some grandsta who is in that position, he says that we are very fallen and there are so many obstacles. So what is our hope? They ask us. And what is the process for them then? How to progress fast?
if they are sincere grahasthas, they can also make advancement. It's not like 1 and 0. Not that you can make, they cannot make. Both can make advancement. But it will take some time. Eventually, everybody has to come to sannyas. Like I told you the example that the road, when you go from here to Bombay, till Lonavala, the road is almost same. The express highway and the general highway. And after some time, the express highway becomes different route. But after some time, again, before Bombay comes, they both join. So ultimately, brahmachari, he will remain brahmachari, then becomes sannyas. Grahastha, if he is honest and sincere, he will do his duty. Then again, he will also become manaprastha. And then again, he will also become sannyas. It's not that grahastha life, there is no hope. But grahamedi life, there is hope. The tendency is to become grahamedi. Grahamedi means the house is in the center. And wherever you go, you're thinking of the home. But grahastha life is noble ashram. Many great sages like Shri Maharaj, Nanti Dev, Parikshit Maharaj, Bharat Maharaj was grahastha person. So, sincerity of chanting and hearing is for both equally applicable for grahastha and brahmacharya. And there are some advantages in grahastha life, in the sense that if somebody is really addicted to material pleasures, then some of the pleasures can be experienced. But again, there is need for control. Controlling senses is what differentiates animals and humans. The more we are in the mood of controlling our senses, the more closer we are to divine realization. If you cannot control senses, then you're not even human being, not to speak of pure devotee. Does it answer your question? Something else you wanted to? Anybody else would like to add to what I said? Any other question? Okay. Hare Krishna. Every day become PDC, pure devotional course. Shall we end with 5 minutes kirtan? I would also like the senior brahmachari to speak 2 minutes about your realization. Avasharam, would like to speak, sir? Anybody else? Revatipati, oh, my master is there. Revatipati, go please enlighten us. Please give him the mic. Speak for your chair. Actually, I chair. Revatipati is the closest, whatever ideas colleagues that spoke about brahmacharya, he is one of the persons who has imbibed that move. 2 minutes, just speak some hint how one can, like you have been in the ashram for almost 15, 20 years, 2005 is it? 4 or 5? It's almost like 17 years. It's more than Lord Ramchandra's Vanvas. And the Pandavas and the first 12 years. You will briefly speak for 5 minutes. Because everybody has different angles of vision. I'm sure you must have heard from him otherwise also. But I am not able to attend. So I want to hear something. I was able to feel
attempt whether we are able to do something meaningful or not, but the attempt to breathe the great soul, that definitely that is
Like recently, I was in Mumbai and Srinivas Radhanath Maharaj gave lecture on Narsi Pradesh. And I left Mumbai and came to Pune, and next day there was a talk given by Maharaj to Brahmachari. You came to know the cake cutting. So one of the points Maharaj spoke was like success in Krishna consciousness does not mean that there is perfection, material level. He gave the example of the South Indian Brahmin. The South Indian Brahmin, he was following his Guru's instruction, yet he was making mistakes. But yet the Lord Chaitanya accepted him. So it does not matter exactly whether we are material success. We should not compare ourselves because everybody is different. When we compare, then we commit offense. Everybody is perfect. And our own shortcomings also, we should learn to know that yes, gradually it will go away. Gradually it will go away. Difference between hypocrisy is the faults are there, we're trying to hide the faults. Faults are there, I am there, but they are the right person. We will have 5 minutes. Yeah, and the first time I gave, this was changed.
almost a year back, we got on, it got first thing another rather than there. 3 class of the equipment.
Very, very favorable. They put cow down.
So this is the carpet of this
Color. She put Maharaj likes this. One thing I remember when Shamanand Prabhu, one of our senior devotees, he would ask Maharaj, when we go out, we get a lot of prestige. Brahmacharis, we could respect, they touch our feet. So what should we do? Maharaj said that when they come to a temple, you should immediately take the broom and clean the temple.
Huh? Shamanand Prabhu still does it on the festival day in the shoe stand.
Even the shoe stand. Okay. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Everybody raise your hand. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare, very loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, very loud. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
महात्माओं ब्रह्मचारियों की जय। हरे